Hello and welcome to Grimlight Games. I'm your host, Grimmy, and today we are going to be doing our second ever community work review stream. So, this is the time in the month where we check out all the cool stuff that our community members have been working on outside of the game jams. This typically will include other games that they've been working on, artwork, music, or pretty much anything in between. Ideally, it does have to do with the gaming space or some kind of skill that works towards the gaming space. But, anyways, without further ado, we are going to jump right on in. So, the first thing we've got here, this is a third person controller that our member Kisami was working on. I actually want to check real quick to see if there was some more information with it that I might be forgetting. Let's see. So this is a third-person prototype project with controller support. They followed the course on Unity, third-person controller by GameDev.tv. Great teaching platform, by the way, if you haven't checked out any courses from GameDev.tv. I've done a bunch of them. They're very, very good with the information that they put out, and they're always updating and making sure that any of the changes that they make to the code gets updated as well. So they're really, really good about keeping everything on the up and up. So let's see, it looks like this course has some really good design patterns, state machines, player actions, utilizing the input system that Unity has as part of their engine, which is great. I've started migrating all of my movement stuff over into the input system, which has just been so amazing, as opposed to trying to hard code everything in. So really like that. So let's see, the current prototype that we're going to be playing around with today supports running, jumping, dodging, blocking, attacking, target locking, and ledge detection plus grabbing. Ooh, so that sounds pretty cool. Let's check it out. Now, I have not actually fired this up before, so hopefully everything's going to work out just fine. Oh, wow. Right, ooh, that is a very, very sensitive camera. Ooh, who are you, sir? All right, so controls. We've got left stick or WASD. I'm going to play around with the keyboard first, and then I'm going to go ahead and utilize my controller just to check everything out. So let's see. Yep, obviously the mouse is going to control our camera. We can run around with WASD. Oh, man. Okay. Button south. Space is going to be our jump. Look at that. Okay, left shift. All right, we probably have to be moving to do left shift. Left shift dodge. Left mouse is our attack. Left shift doesn't seem to be doing anything. Let me try. No, that's not doing it. Let's see if maybe it's mapped to a different key. Well, maybe it'll work on the controller. So actually, let's try that out real quick. We'll see if this is set up to do instant swapping. Oh, it sure is. Look at that. Okay, so the camera definitely moves much better with the stick than the mouse. It's super sensitive on the mouse, but I like this with that. Okay, so hey, excuse me, sir. I'm still messing around. Don't you advance on me. All right, let's see. So B is going to be our dodge. No. Okay. Maybe he has to actively be attacking us. We'll check that out. All right, so right mouse button is our block. Okay, there doesn't seem to be an animation with that, but again, maybe that's going to be triggered if we're actually trying to block an attack. Tab is target lock. Hey, look at that. Look at that. We are locked on. Oh, it looks like when you're target locked, it does reduce your movement speed, but of course it doesn't change the animation. So that's polished stuff that devs will end up putting in sometime in a later date. Okay, let's go ahead and check this out. Oh, okay, so we have to be target locked to do the dodge and the block. All right. Oh. All right. You know what? Honestly, for a little demo thing, the combat doesn't feel awful. Oh, I must have gotten defeated, so I got sent back. All right, let's switch to our controller now and check this out. So left trigger is going to be target lock and unlock. Yep, there it is. Okay, we're locked. We're locked. Now we can do our... Oh, this feels so much better on the controller. Let's see, what is our attack? X, yep, okay. Can still jump. There we go. All right, I think I'm ready. All right, we're going to take you on now, bud. Here we go. So used to playing Souls-like games, I'm looking for the parry window. Oh, wow, yeah, you are animation locked once you swing. Oh, he beat my butt again. Nice. This is pretty cool, though. I definitely like this. Like I said, though, there are some polish things that we could clean up in this. But again, if you're just looking at this for the sake of experimenting with the movement and everything. So if you do want the speed to be dropped when you're locked on, something does need to change a little bit with the animation, just because it almost looks like he's running on a treadmill, right? And then as soon as we unlock it, now that looks a lot more normal. That has a much better feel to it, right? But obviously, we're not here to address the combat mechanics and how everything is doing with that. Although I don't like the fact that his animation swing does not take as much as mine. So wait, we wait for the block, we swing, but now I can't get my shield back up before he takes his swing. So it seems like he doesn't get staggered, but we do. Oh, maybe I just wasn't actually making contact? Huh, I was standing too far away. Okay. So that goes back... Oh, there's multiple attack animations. All right, okay, cool. So that actually ties into... Oh my gosh, I just totally lost my train of thought. What was I going to say there? Oh, yeah, it ties into something we've covered before on this channel, talking about hitboxes and how you typically want to be a little bit more generous with your hitboxes for the player, just because it can be a little bit tricky, right, with camera angles and everything else. So good rule is to always err on the side of giving the player a much more generous hitbox to play with. And you can't actually finish up that third swing because he gets staggered back. All right, cool. Hey, that is a really nice 3D controller, though. I like that. Nice work, man. Good job. Keep fleshing this out. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with this. Yeah. Apparently, jumping into him does damage. Cool. All right, we're gonna move on. All right, there's no way to escape out of it, so we just gotta close it all down. That's fine. Again, it's just showcasing the controller, right? This isn't like a game that we're critiquing on. Oh, do you have a menu I can access to get out of it? Yeah. But anyways, nice. Really cool. Really cool. I like that. All right, what do we have here? All right, so all of these art assets are from Sanjit, so we're going to go ahead and check those out all together. So I think before we hop into that, let's see what B has put together for us. B's been pretty heavy into making some really cool music files. I've been really digging some of the work that they've been doing. And I mean, I'm not a sound engineer by any stretch of the imagination, so I don't even know how to do half of that stuff. But let's check out this beat. Whoa. Has kind of like a Tetris feel to it. Like, I'm trying to remember exactly where I've heard that chord progression before. Is it Tetris? Like, I've definitely heard that before, and I'm struggling to put my finger on it. What is it? Obviously, we've got some really cool remixing going on there. I'm gonna play it again. I actually want to listen to it all the way through, and I'll hold my thoughts so that way you're not having to compete with my voice and listening to the song. All right. Yeah, definitely. That is a banger. I can tell you. I mean, obviously you guys can't see this, but I was definitely tapping my feet and bobbing my head along as that was going. It does have some reminisce. And again, I'm really struggling to know where that chord progression is from. I think it's Tetris, which I mean, hey, that's throwback to my early days of gaming. But no, really like it. I like the chord progression. I like the bridge that you've got set up between, the second round of the chorus, quote unquote chorus. There really aren't words. I mean, there's some vocalizations that you're using in this remix that definitely are working well with it. I will say that if we're listening to kind of how the end cuts off, this is a great single track. But if you were trying to set this up as like something that you were going to loop in a game, there probably needs to be. Actually, let me listen to this again. Okay, so that, but then loop it into this. Actually, wait. We can do this. We can loop this. Yeah, it's a little bit too abrupt of an end to lead into what we've got going on. So I'd almost say if you like paused, that might actually work. Or at the very least, you could do the last note ending on the same note that this starts with. But again, that's only if you were trying to loop this for a game. If you were just using it as a single straight through song, that's perfect. It's great. Nice work. Love it. Okay, let's check out some of the cool artwork that Sanjeet has been working on. I think there is a little bit of a read up with it, so I am going to look at that real quick. So it looks like they're doing an art school program. So this is some of what they've been working on. So the first one that we're going to be checking out is an image editing exercise. And then the other ones are studies in what I'm assuming to be character form and proportions and all that. But we'll get into that when we jump into it. So the first one, right, we've got, where's, are you kidding me? Ugh. I don't know what the deal is with this. So for some reason, and I really apologize if this is going all absolutely crazy for you guys. I have 3 monitors, and for some reason, every now and then, if I don't turn on the other monitors, and they're just off, so they haven't even been on the whole time the computer's been on, different windows will populate on them for absolutely no reason, and I have not been able to figure that out. But anyways, I digress. So, we're just going to leave it on for now so I don't end up making you guys have another seizure. So, we have an exercise in image editing. So my first guess, just looking at this, we've got a really amazing landscape. And I'm wondering if this boat was originally part of this. And I'd say I think this might be the only thing that's even kind of giving me a little bit of a tell that might be going on. Because the reflective quality of this is really great. Everything's showing off the water surface, giving it that glass-like texture, which is really cool. But the one thing that's a little bit rough is this blending right here, right? So I mean, the good news is, right, if you just kind of first look at it, you're like, wow, check out that castle on the water, all that, like that's really well done. Now, I cannot pretend to be somebody who is super well versed in editing software. I mean, I have Photoshop. I've messed with things in Photoshop, but I've never really tried to do an image edit where you add something into it and then really kind of blend it together. But the blurring here, this does throw it off a little bit, right? Because what I want to point out, and this is the only reason that the blur kind of throws it off a little bit, is if you look at the reflective quality of the background that exists prior to that image, it's a lot more crisp. Like there is some blur, obviously, because it is a reflection, but there's almost a little too much blur in this transition here. And then, of course, it starts kind of going up above the water level here, which just throws it off a little bit. But again, you've got to zoom in to kind of see that going on. But other than that, I would say I definitely do like this. And the cool thing is you can see, right, as we get into the reflective quality. And then actually, now that I'm looking at this kind of brings it the other thing. Um, I would almost have to think that you would first have to put the image in, like straight up over this. So as far as layers go, you would need this to be completely solid first to overwrite the mountain that's going on back here. So that way, when you start to, is it decrease or increase the opacity? That's when, this would start to get that, oh, it's a reflection on water look to it. But then you wouldn't get, the visual of the mountain coming kind of in through behind it. So that's just something to look into, to work on a bit. But yeah, no, I like this. Really nice job. Really, really nice job. And I saw in the character sketches, this is really cool. So one of the things that I do want to point out, because while I may not be an artiste or have a ton of experience with it, this character modeling, this is something that I actually do know quite a bit about. I took an art class forever ago, and the whole unit was on character modeling and stuff like this. So what you have going on here, if you can almost imagine, none of this exists except for these outlines. We start with the base character model, right? So you've got your circle for your head, then you kind of figure out where that positioning is going to be for the body alignment. So that's where you can see where this line comes in, right? And then, of course, we need to know where the dimensions of the torso are going to be, where the hips are going to be, which is then going to help us figure out where our hip joints are going to be. And then ultimately, we can figure out our knee joints as well in between the lengths of our leg. So once you've got that, right, so you can almost, I kind of want to open this with aspirate. You know what? Yeah. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. I'll do that next time, though. I think I remember saying I was going to do that for this one, just because I think when we're reviewing art, it would be a little bit better if we could kind of see those things. So, right, you get your base down. So once you've got your base down from there, then you can start to kind of flesh in an outline, really, for the character. So that's where this blue is going to come in. So we know we are going to have some horns coming off of the character, so we've got to position those so that way they're going to be evenly distributed on our head joint that we've created with this circle. And then we can kind of create the outline of our body around these hip, shoulder, knee, leg joints that we've created. And you can see right here, this gives you the full outline of how everything's going to be. And then last, you kind of go in with those more detailed touches, right? So now we would want to figure out where the eyes are. But one of the things that I would add, I don't know if what they had you do for this was they gave you the image and then you had to draw the skeleton structure and then the outline and then the details in yourself. But if that were the case, one thing that I would recommend when you are modeling out like this with your skeleton structure, you should also include a sight line, right? That's going to help you figure out if your eyes are going to end up being level with everything. And this is also kind of where if I had Aspirite open, I could draw right over it and show you what I'm talking about if I'm not expressing it well enough. But basically, once you have your head joint, then you can kind of make your sight line to know where your eyes are going to line up. And then you can figure out the angle of the approach. So for this, inside of our circle, if you can imagine, we would have our sight line going across like this, kind of showing us where the middle of the eyes are going to be. And then to know which direction this is facing, we would then have another line coming like this. So that would help us situate that, okay, he's looking off to the left, well, our left, his right, as opposed to if instead, we had the sight line here, so we know our eyes are centered, but then we drew our line like this, then he would be looking over his shoulder in this direction, and then that would help us recognize that we need to put our eyes in more of a position like this. So really cool. And then, of course, with your detail lines, right, just giving everything a little bit more, figuring out where some of that little flavor is going to be, knowing where, there's going to be some overlap standing on the terrain, stuff like that. Really, really cool. Uh-oh. So I assume, yeah, we're going to be running into something very similar with these other characters as well, right? So you've got your model skeleton. missing its spine, but that's, perfectly fine. You don't need to necessarily include all the bits and pieces of it, but we figured out where our shoulders are. This, I would almost align this at a little bit more of an angle since this shoulder is sitting a lot higher. But what you have to keep in mind is that if this character is proportionate and we're getting the view that we want, this shoulder joint is actually going to be up here and behind. So that would actually change the shape of this as well. So something to keep in mind there. But I love how, you've got situated with your elbow joints, hand joints, all that. It's perfect. Really nice. And then, of course, we've got our outline, eyes, nose. Cool. And I don't actually know what character this is. Wait, is this Ori? I think this is Ori. Okay, yeah. Yeah. All right, and then we kind of jump into this. And again, we're seeing a lot of the same stuff. This, I think you've nailed the character skeleton just a little bit better here. It could just be because of how everything's proportioned, right? But you can see that you've got your upper body joint, lower body joint, and then where your shoulder, elbow, wrist, all that. Nice. Very nice. We got a couple more to check through. Oh, this one's a little bit tricky to see, but I can definitely see you do have your character skeleton sketched in there. Yep, okay. Yeah, it translates pretty well. I'd say you even did that one pretty well. For something like that, right? So in a character model where there's going to be a good portion of something that is hidden by the character itself, you would almost want to make sure that you include a skeleton line that's going to go through the entirety of the weapon, right? So you would start with the most visible piece and then just line it up perfectly, and then that'll help you figure out where the other visible piece is going to be on the other side of the character. And then we've got One Punch Man. So we don't have a character skeleton here, but I would say even without the character skeleton, I think you nailed the outline pretty gosh darn well. Look at that. I'd actually even say I almost like your shoulder outline just a little bit better than this one. Cool. Nice work. Nice work. Wow, fantastic. All right, guys. So that kind of covers what we've got submitted for February. Really nice work coming in from Sanji, Kisame, and B. And I do have one last thing that we are going to cover in our review stream, which I thought would be really cool for you guys to check out. So one of our newest community members, Happy Dudes, who actually submitted the Zenith game to our last jam, also has another game that you can currently wishlist on Steam, and this is the demo for it. So I figured, they didn't exactly post this one in the review submissions, but I thought it would be really cool to utilize the review stream to check out something else that one of our community members is working on. So I have not played this game yet. I believe it is a platformer, and it's got a really, really cool art style that I'm liking just by looking at these stills, and it's got kind of like that dark, gothic feel to it. So yeah, I want to check it out. So you guys are going to be checking it out with me today. Gonna let it do its first load. While that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of my water. Hopefully this doesn't take too much longer. But yeah. And I'm assuming it probably has to do with game file size, but a lot of times the first time you load up a game, it can kind of do that. But there we go. Happy Dudes Studios. Briar Flame. Oh, there is some music that's building in the background. Nice. All right. So, where'd my mouse go? Oh, is this controller functional? All right, no, it's not controller functional. It looks like, so we don't actually have our mouse on the screen, but I can move up and down with the WASD keys. Some nice little game juice we got, hovering over our buttons. I like the particle effect you've got going on in the background. That's pretty cool. I like this opening music, too. What's the difference between start and new game? No, let's just hit start, see what happens. Before the beginning, the briar took root. The giants called it sacred, and to feed their god, they fed it the world. Oh, dang. Blood of the weak fed its roots, a potent fertilizer, but a spark ignited from the bled. Oh, yeah, that's a spark. A flame that could consume the briar. An ember host has risen. The prophecy awakens. Those born of the white flame took the pilgrimage, though all who walked the path perished. Oh my. Now, a final spark remains. Alright. Okay, so I like how this disappears when you move away from it, but it also reappears as you get close to it. That's good. So let's see, we've got move, we've got space. Attack is J. Interesting. Okay, so this is just straight up keyboard. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that, but you know, that's definitely a preference thing. I don't know what it is, but when you're doing, you know, mouse and keyboard games, especially platformers, I like having my hand on the mouse. You know, maybe it's just like a comfort thing from, you know, years and years of gaming, but yeah, we're gonna get used to this for a second because I gotta get both of my hands on the keyboard. All right. Ah, okay, so we can crouch with S. Oh, look at that, and we can do a little scurry. Whoa, what? Oh, okay. So you've got some forward momentum on your attack animations. That's pretty cool. So what had happened is I had hit attack right as I got out. So it looks like if you do it from a crouching position, you do this cool little jump attack. Oh, nice. So the combat system, it looks like it has some directional to it as well. So if you hold up and hit your attack, you've got this nice little upswing. Then you've got your crouching jump attack. That's really cool. Oh, look at that. I wonder if we can get up there. Oh, I don't know how I just did that. Oh, you can just straight up crawl up the wall. Oh, I like that. That is cool. Oh, alright, so I finally figured out what that meter at the top is that's moving. That's our stamina meter. So we can only crawl up stuff for as long as that's happening. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so we've got a triple jump right out of the get-go. So we've got jump, jump one, jump. Or maybe it's just a double jump? How did I do a triple jump? Oh! Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that mechanic. That's really cool. Alright, so you hold the jump key a second time, and then after a short delay, you move in the direction of that arrow, but you can control the direction of the arrow. Oh, that is nifty. Nice. I really dig that control. All right, let's see what's going on over here before we head up. He looks like a tough customer. Now, is it pause timing? Oh, it definitely is. Okay, so when you do that, it's not just slowing you down, it's slowing the world down. Watch the flames. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you can come down here. Okay. Hey, where are you going? Jeez, this guy's got a lot of health. Alright, yeah, you got busted. Looks like we've got our souls. Clear large gaps by dashing while airborne. Hold space. Oh, yeah. All right, we already kind of figured that out. Whoop. Hit. Baited. Yeah, totally did that on purpose, I swear. So was I not even supposed to... Oh, you know what? I bet that it was similar to what we're looking at up there, is that I could have gone up there, but it probably did. All right, just because the secret hunter in me, yes, I know it's a demo, but we need to find out. I need to be certain that there wasn't anything up there that I could get. All right. Oh. Yep, had a feeling that... Ooh, that did a ton of damage. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to try to go through there. Oh, you know what? I bet once we get up all the way through, this lever that I just saw, yeah, that lever up there probably is going to lower those spikes, so then that way we've got a quick way back through. You know, like your typical Metroidvania platformers. I like the parallax that you've got going on in the background. I'd almost say that you could probably even pull it a little bit further back to create more of that depth. Right? Because it has depth already. Like, you can definitely see that. You can see the different layers that are moving in the background. But I think if you increase the space between those layers, it might even increase that field of depth a little bit more. That could be pretty cool. But, you know, just something to experiment with. Ember Host, climb to your freedom. Hopefully I have enough stamina. I do! Man, those hanging corpses in the background. Oof, it is dark. Hey, we made it. It wasn't too bad. There we go. Dash to evade obstacles. Oh. So, maybe... I get it. We weren't supposed to know we could dash first, so by the time we get around to that... unleash special weapons with K? We're going to hold that for now, because something tells me there's going to be somebody down here for us to use that on. What was that? Oh, it's a shield! Oh, cool, alright, and it just takes stamina to hold it up, and you can kind of shield bash them, too. Alright. Wow, that took him out pretty quick, huh? Oh no, he's still there. Hey, look at that block. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought I held K for that. Oh well. Oh, I'm such a terrible Ember Host. So now that we know we can use shift to dash, I want to see if we can actually get through this now. Because we wouldn't have known that before, right? Burning Bell. Collect 2 more to increase your healing capacity. Ah. Alright. You can just keep smacking that over and over. Alright, so we can't get through there yet. Oh, cool. So, you know, because we failed, we learned something that allowed us to move back through. Nope. Ah. I clicked the wrong button. This is one of the reasons why I have a little pet peeve about double hands on the keyboard. But this would definitely be a great game to add controller support to. And I'd say you use the Unity engine, so you should be able to just roll it right into the input system, which, if you haven't messed around with the input system yet, it is so much easier, you know, than just hard coding all the movement. Sorry, I wanted to focus face for a second there. But it's just so much easier to set it up that way, and you can just basically have it flip back and forth between the controller, and a lot of your basic movement is already coded into it, so you don't even have to really mess around with the basic stuff. And then you would just map, your same animations and keys and all that just to the different buttons on the controller. Lost Embers. Oh. So there's no animation break. Need to keep that in mind. Now, animation break, that's not, necessarily like something I should say, oh yeah, you should have that. It depends on what you're going for. Animation breaks are great if you're trying to give players a little bit more autonomy over the combat, like, really unleash everything. Or you don't add the animation breaks in to really make the player consider, what button they're going to hit when something's going on. So it really just depends on what your aim is for this game, if you want to have animation breaks or not. Honestly, though, even just with these enemies right here, I don't think you need the animation break. It feels pretty good. No, I probably have to do this. Yeah. There. Oh my goodness. Okay. I swear I'm a gamer. Ooh. If you are injured, restore your flame. Nice. I wasn't paying attention. Did that take some of our resource? Oh, here we go. Yep. So now we've got our shortcut. That's fantastic. In stillness, your flame recalls its shapes. What? Oh, holy crap, we've got a whole menu going on here. So, I definitely want to touch on something real quick. So I talk a lot when we're reviewing our Game Jam games about the show don't tell. The show don't tell. Oh my gosh, why are words so hard? The show don't tell approach to your tutorial versus, the information overload. So this trickled all of the controls to us over the course of moving through that entire level, which is great. That's one of my favorite ways to approach games in general. Now, I will say that it probably is a little bit subjective, but I think it's the superior way to do the show don't tell. So, totally up to you as the developer. But as far as you guys go, Happy Dude Studio, you did it exactly the way I love it. So nice, fantastic. All right, so we've got our equipment. We've got our sword, jagged blade, blah, blah, blah. What is this? Shurikens became symbolic of the trials of the Bloodthorn Gauntlet during the first pilgrimage. Throw at enemies for quick, long-range damage. So they haven't taught me how to use the shuriken yet. So this is our special weapons. So right now we've got our shield. And I don't... this is weapon form. Tool form. Yeah, they haven't taught us how to use our tools yet. Interesting. Yeah, this is absolutely all keyboard navigating. Fury? Oh, okay, so it looks like when we level up, we'll be able to add some of this. So can we do anything with that now? Oh, what did I do? I minimized. So, escape key did not take us out. We have to go ahead and hit our resume key. So, I'd say little nitpicky things just with some of the control layout is really... that's the only thing I can kind of nitpick on about this. I'm really enjoying every other aspect. Dashing while airborne will also reach new heights. Oh, yeah, we already figured that out. Oh, gotta get my hands back on the keyboard. Aw. Sure, I put my shield up. So I'm assuming they're going to teach us how to use our tools next, and then probably how to level up. Look before you leap. Okay. So you literally have to hold the down arrow, up arrow, left, right. That's, you know, I kind of like that. That is pretty cool, but I don't like that it takes my hand away from the action buttons. So again, I mean, I already kind of said it. My only little nitpicky things is some of the control scheme. Manifest your flame into tools by consuming power. Okay, so I is going to be our tool. Oh, nope, that just threw it straight down. Oh, yeah, so that uses up that resource. Ah! What you gonna do, huh? Ow. Oh, yeah. Oh, he has a melee attack, too. Ow. Wait, what? Oh my god, I lost myself on the screen. Alright, I'm assuming the next thing is going to be how to level up. Oh! Okay. That could have been bad. Oh, here we go. And this is the shortcut to this work through. So if we do end up, you know, biting it, we could go through that one that was up above, right? Because, yeah, we opened that one. Oh my gosh. I wasn't even looking at the spikes. Anyways, well, good thing we opened that, right? So what I was gonna point out was that we already opened that way up, so that would have been a shortcut, but now we've also got this shortcut. And we retrieved our lost embers. Fantastic. Oh, are we gonna boss fight now? Yup. Okay. No iframes on that, huh? Oh, I was out of stamina. Oop. He's gonna kick my butt. Oh, yep, he kicked my butt. Unfortunately, that is the time that we have for today. But hey, that's Briarflame. I gotta say, nice work, you guys. Really, really cool game. You know, if I was just gonna give you notes, I would say that the control scheme, I would work on that just a little bit. It doesn't feel natural to many other platformers, right? And you gotta remember, if you're competing in that arena, you're gonna want to probably map your controls, or at the very least, and I didn't even check this. Let me see real quick. Okay, yeah. So at the very least, right, if you're going to map your keys differently than what, you know, kind of, I would almost argue is like the status quo, right? Give the player the option to rebind their own keys, which, yeah, I know it's a bit of work, but it definitely is a huge quality of life thing that people love. And then I'd also say, definitely as soon as you can, get this tooled up for a controller, because this would play amazingly with a controller. Other than that, really awesome job. The visuals look really cool. My only little note there would be maybe to play with the parallax a little bit more. See if you can get a little bit more field of depth in there, and I think that'll make your scenes pop. The art is fantastic. The music is great. The combat, it doesn't feel clunky. Right? I didn't like the fact that I couldn't animation break, but that's a very subjective, personal thing. And I think what you guys are what you have, whether you were going for that or not, the fact that you have to be very, very methodical and choice specific about when you're going to hit your keys, I think it works really well. So I think the combat system you've got is pretty solid. All in all, you know, no bugs, nothing like that. This is a demo that I'd say is pretty gosh darn good. Just, you know, just some little quality of life things, but again, you know, take it or leave it. Fantastic work, you guys. And that, my friends, is going to do our community review stream for February. My name is Grimmy, and this is Grimlight Games. Thank you so much for joining us today, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.